there's that point at which like you're watching your child, and for some reason and by the way, the more of this, the better, I would propose, but you find yourself like just feeling the incredible beauty of the moment, just the infinite value of that, the infinite value of the moment, right? The presencing of love.
It's like that. It's just, I'm my wife, Brienne, is just entered her second trimester, and just a couple days ago.
We're supposed to have a chat about that.
Yeah. I was just the other day, I told her I wanted to catch it. I was hoping we'd catch it at the same time, the first time you feel them. And she's like, I think I feel them. And I run in there and I put my ear up against her belly, and we were just listening. And I was like, okay, the pulse is okay. And we started to identify it. And the moment I could feel it move, that's going to be, that just happened a couple of days ago.
It's a real thing. So the reason I think for the connection, and it's funny, I was reflecting on this just yesterday, is that it is a very rare thing to be an old man and to really choose, right? Not to, to find yourself in the midst of a midlife crisis and have a sweet young thing who wants to have a kid and just sort of do that. But to actually like, no, I'm going to go through the crucible of parenting now with the full force of my consciousness and my humility and my integrity, and recognizing exactly how much that's going to put me through. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? By the way, I had a really, really, from my point of view, like a really felt wonderful conversation on this thing called Clubhouse, which normally I just avoid, but I was invited into it and I felt like there was a beautiful invitation. So I was there and we talked about parenting, which is the first time.
John and I did a conversation on that recently, a couple of weeks ago.
On Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So there's a SoundCloud of that conversation. Benny, who did it, recorded it, and it's an hour and 45 minutes. But I think it's the best thing I've ever done. Like I feel the most like, wow, I really feel good about having done that at the highest level. So maybe not the best thing I've ever done, but the one that I feel the most glad to have done. Maybe exactly the right way.
It plucks that no string.
Yeah, it plucks that no string. Yeah. That's actually exactly it. And so I'd be happy to share it with you. I don't have permission and to share it broadly, but I can share it with you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And by the way, much respect for making that choice.
Thank you.
Blessings on you and your family in these times in particular.
Thank you, sir. Received.
And I trust that in the days and months and years to come, you will find yourself over and over again reawakened to the presencing of love.
Yeah. It's about the best thing. That's about the best trust I've received.
Yeah, and to rewind a little bit, the thing that I feel when I feel that is a combination of it's like a flavor of protective care and honor. Maybe that's even a better word. Honor this, like literally honor this. This is here now. The right mode first. Honor it. Move slowly. Be careful. Walking out of the baby's room so you don't wake her up at night. Be careful. Treating the heart of the woman who's given you her heart, and in this case also her body, with the exquisite care, right? The immaculate care that both it deserves and it needs, and that's the thing that is called up to me immediately thereafter. Right? When noticing that's the next thing that's called up in me. I truly notice it, which sadly many times I don't.
Right. I really appreciated what you said about, as an old man, making such a choice, right? Yes. And I have to say, it's interesting what when I chose it. If we could say, I don't even know if I can say I chose it. It was more like I was trying to choose it. We've been together for a long time. She didn't have any desire to have kids, really didn't talk. And then all of a sudden she starts talking about it, right? And I'm like, I've already had a child. I'm going to be like, at this point, 45. Now I'm 48. And so I tried to like figure that one out. And I could not come up with a rationale to have a kid or even not have a kid. It's like, but
because that's the wrong mode.
Oh, it's totally the wrong mode. And it was so interesting because there was a moment where her sister had just had a baby, and she had just come back from spending time with the baby. And there was this moment where I saw just the little bud, right, of something in her that it was beautiful. And I got really clear, like that moment, that shine forth, that little bud. It was all at one moment. So it wasn't even like a thought. It was just a clarity that will only blossom if she has a child and she's a mother. And I was like, all right, there. That's what I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, my experience was very similar in the sense that, Vanessa had been married and had never had any desire to have a child, and even had created narratives about how she would be a bad mom or whatever, right? And we were together for a pretty good long time. And she began to feel like, okay, I need to come to a conclusion on this. My body is going to make a decision for me. Let me see if I can own that decision, like really be at peace with what comes.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I went on my journey, as you say. I've got an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old. I have one, I've been through this, and two, I know what that means.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going in eyes, we call it with rose-colored glasses. Like this is a hard gig.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I remember is the particular moment where I was almost like embodying myself in the future along both timelines. Like really trying to be me with another child and me without another child. And like feeling, okay, what's the pain? What's the change? Who is this new person? What did you go through? What's the joy? What's the grief of all that? And both, right? Because that's the thing that you say, both paths have joy and grief.
Yeah.
Both paths are they're singular paths. There's nothing about them. They're not measurable. You cannot compare them. You cannot calculate them. You cannot do a utilitarian calculus. Like that's nonsense because it's literally the wrong mode.
Yeah.
And then just feeling it and feeling it and feeling it. And then finally getting to a place of actually noticing what I would just call clarity. I wish in my life I have had enough failures to notice when I feel at peace with come what may. This is something that I can go through and that I can feel like I will be at peace come what may.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I had peace on both paths. And so I was able to go to her and say, I can commit to fully supporting you, whichever path you choose. This is your choice. And I don't mean like it's your, I'm checking out. I really mean, this is your choice. And it's always going to be your choice. Will always have been your choice. And what I can tell you is I can with complete confidence commit to fully supporting you, whichever path you take. And then she went through like a whole year of deep, deep work in lots of different ways to be able to come to a place where she was able to say, okay, I am fully yes. And by the way, now it's in God's hands because there's still biology.
Yes. Totally.
But lo and behold, so it came to pass. So
how long ago was that? How long ago was that?
Well, do the math. So Eloise is 20. She'll be 27 months in March.
Okay, got
So
it.
27 plus 9.
Wow, wow, wow. So 27 months later. But if you check in with that past self, right, and you look at
Good
the
call.
one that you are here.
Good call. Yeah, good call. Because
Yeah.
this is the upside of having gone through the transformational process,
Mm-hmm.
is that unknown unknown.
Yeah.
Now, for example, one of the things that I
Yeah.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
have, I mean, I didn't even have trepidation around,
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit. It was okay. Well, how are my other kids going to respond? And we involved them in the conversation. It wasn't just oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. Is that way that the reality expanded? That my older daughter, and this is the point is what I'm going to say is that this is a quality or an aspect of herself that I had never seen before and didn't even think was part of herself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one day she walks up, she picks up a baby of, I don't know, 2 months with hair, a baby who's maybe a little fussy, a little fidgety, a little crying, not easy, not beautiful, like not carries her into the other room and just takes care of her for like an hour in herself, just naturally felt that level of care and quality and love for not a, fun time, but for actually what would be fun from the point of view of from her. My point is that it wasn't like a video game, it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
games, it was
Yeah.
real. And I was just like, holy cow. Yeah. How beautiful
Mm-hmm.
that aspect of her would never have been opened or would not have been seen until perhaps maybe she had her own child or, some of her peers did. Because, of course, we live in this crazy psychotic civilization where natural human relationships are radically interrupted by these bizarre constructs. And we take kids and cohort them so they're only relating with people who are their own age and separate them from context where they may have relationships across that matrix.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, 16-year-old girls actually really benefit from being in a relationship with babies. There's something there that's part of humanness that is well met and enriched.
Right.
And of course, now she's in a place where her ability to be in relationship with the possibility of her own motherhood is just vastly more, like she actually doesn't have the complete mystery of how do I show up? How do you deal with these kinds of relationships? Oh, I've actually done them in a way that was a lot easier, like a lot less all at once.
Yeah.
which hopefully will show
Yeah.
up as actually her being able to show up more fully.
Yeah. Yes.
Hopefully will show up as her being able to support the sacredness of that relationship completely, right?
Totally.
It gets passed down.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. The unknown unknown.
The unknown unknown and the joyful unknown unknown.